G'day Gooners and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. As you can see, the smiles on our faces are well and truly earned. A 3-0 win over Fulham today and an exceptional performance. So much to talk about. I'm joined by George. George, how are you feeling after that game?
Oh, mate, what a result. Great performance. Absolutely delighted. So much to talk about, and so much of it is positive. So it sort of brings a nice change to the format of the podcast. Um, really exciting. Brilliant, just brilliant. And yeah, it's a great thing to happen just before obviously the Champions League game on Tuesday night UK time, Wednesday morning for us because it is just a monumental game, probably the biggest game that the Emirates has ever seen, I would argue.
Potentially, I mean, yeah, of course, if we go on to win it, then this could be looked at as like the catalyst for that. Obviously, this game was so important to win as well because I know City had the games in hand, but that 6 point lead just mentally they have to go and win the next two games, and they have to be positive four goal difference, I believe, or five to be ahead of us, four just to match us, which is a hard. Who are they playing? Everton away, tricky game, and then Brentford at home, I believe, or was it Palace at home? One of those. But yeah, the two pretty tricky games could be a banana skin, but four goals, that's where the problem lies. You saw they only beat Burnley 1-0 as well. So without Rodri, they look like they're struggling a little bit. But yeah, it's a great time to be an Arsenal fan at the moment. It feels like we've sort of come back, and I think it's just the performance as well. Obviously, last week we won. It was great against Newcastle, but today it feels different because of the performance. And I think before we get into it, we'll just go through the lineup because when I saw the lineup, I was like, Lewis-Skelly in midfield, like what's going on here? That's a massive call. How did you feel when you saw that on Instagram?
Yeah, mate. I actually check the lineup via X. That's my sort
Okay,
of my
yeah,
ritual.
fair enough.
I've been doing it almost since X came out as Twitter, and then to X, I've been doing it. Always check the Arsenal Twitter to get the
Nice.
lineup. So yeah, that was my morning ritual at I don't know 2:25 this morning. Obviously, the game was a 2:30 kickoff.
Yeah,
But I was really excited, mate. I was really excited, not just to see Lewis-Skelly in midfield, but to see Calafiori back, I
yeah,
think was massive for us. And I think it really does go under the radar how important he is for us, just because his movement off the ball just creates absolute chaos and it drags defenders and I guess wingers into areas where they do not want to play in, which gives, to be honest with you, the rest of the attacking players a lot more time and space on the ball so they can actually be creative. But Lewis-Skelly, yeah, really good to see him play in his more natural and probably preferred position. Really good, I guess, to see him play in the left half space. You know, we usually have a
yeah.
right-footed player playing in the left half space and a left-footed player playing in the right half space. But it was awesome to see him play in the left half space, but sometimes in a double pivot with Declan Rice. It was good to see Declan Rice play
Mhm.
slightly deeper because he did the same in midweek and he just looked like an absolute monster then. And yeah, no, it was really exciting to see different combinations. Obviously, Trossard came in and looked super sharp. Um, obviously, Saka was back in the squad. I mean, just having Saka back alone, I think is just it's just a
Yeah,
level up. You know,
huge.
the he's not necessarily as quick as he once was at the moment. Not necessarily as good dribbling maybe as a Madueke and as direct as a Noni, but my word, that the quality in the final third and the decision making, more importantly, is just on a different level. So we get chances and we actually look like scoring them because he's the one who's creating them. So yeah, super exciting. Obviously disappointing not to see Odegaard out there. He just can't really catch a break at the moment. He's
Yeah.
playing one game and then getting injured, and playing two games and getting injured. So a frustrating 18 months for him. But hopefully he'll be ready for Atletico. Same goes for Havertz. Um, Same goes, I guess, for Timber, who's not fit.
Yeah.
But interesting to see Ben White play, who I thought probably was the weakest out of the 11 that started.
Yeah.
But even he had some really good moments. But yeah, no, a lot of positives. Obviously, a great result, and I was excited. But from the 11, what about you? What did you think about the 11?
I was so excited by it. I mean, I want to see something fresh. I think we needed something to change. It's been a little bit sort of dry recently, but Lewis-Skelly coming in is like that youthful energy. He's got fresh legs as well. We've got to remember this, you know. He's barely even played. Like he's having someone that's going to come off this game really confident for the rest of the season, fresh legs is class. It's so good. So yeah, I was excited to see that. Calafiori as well, as you said. But I think the thing that I was excited about, and I saw people talking about afterwards, was the partnerships are sort of coming back, which is so important for us. I think I actually heard today Calafiori, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I think this is right, but Calafiori and Trossard, when they play together, have not lost a game, I believe. So correct me if I'm wrong,
Wow.
but that's a crazy stat. And also Ben White, Saka on the right hand side. Love to see that. I know Ben White had a few moments defensively, but offensively, I thought he was doing some good, quick touch passing. In the midfield, Lewis-Skelly and Rice, I liked how they dropped in together and Lewis-Skelly would go ahead. I loved Rice playing that deeper role. I thought he was exceptional there in 23-24 season. To be honest, I know Rice is so good going forward, but I actually think sometimes it's good for him just to stay back a bit. We've been calling for it recently as well. We want to see him play deeper and give Zubimendi a break because he's played countless minutes. Obviously, Saliba, Gabriel, great partnership. And then Gyökeres as well. We've got to speak about Gyökeres because that, in my opinion, was his best performance in an Arsenal shirt. What do you think?
100%. Yeah, yeah, extremely refined performance from Gyökeres. I think that with him we know what we're sort of going to get. He's not the most natural when it comes to technical ability, holding the ball up and really bringing players into it. Like if you were going to ask him to do the same role that an Isak or an Ekitike does for Liverpool, like you're just asking a player to do something that his skill set doesn't align with. Um, and to be honest with you, I think ideally that's what Mikel would want. But if you can play to this guy's strengths, and when I mean strengths, I mean getting him into areas where he can score goals, because that shot that he has with his right foot is just so lethal and so powerful. He runs the channels very well, and previously what we've seen is him making those runs almost diagonally behind the back four, and then him not being found. But today he was found, and he was found very early. So that really helped. And you saw the difference when Jesus came on, the amount of times Jesus was offside because
Yeah,
either the ball wasn't coming early enough or he was just not making the correct run in terms of the timing. But Gyökeres got it all right. And I think it's a good sort of conversation to have about Gyökeres in terms of we've never really had games where we've given him loads of chances and he's missed loads of chances.
yeah, that's
So
true.
like what I mean by that is like it never usually takes him that many chances to score a goal. The problem that we've had is we just don't give him a lot of chances.
Yeah,
He's not like a one goal in four or a one goal in five shots. He's usually a one in two or a one in three. And he had four pretty good chances and ended up with two goals. So to me, it's a lot better that way round than it is him getting one chance and gambling on the fact that he may or may not score it. But yeah, no, he had a really, really good performance, and it wasn't just the goals; it was also the link-up play and
yeah,
how refined his touch was. You could see he'd been really focusing on it, like every touch he was focusing on, which is awesome. Obviously, he got the assist for the Saka goal as well, so really, really good performance from him. And like if you look at the numbers, what he scored now, is it 14 league goals or
14 league
15 league
goals
goals?
and 21 total this season. So I
There you
think
go.
I think the hate on him in the media has just been ridiculous, to be honest. Like we haven't really seen the same for. I know Isak's been injured, but like Isak hasn't been up to the levels. But Gyökeres was injured as well. Like injuries happen to everyone. Even Ekitike. Like I know he's injured now, of course, but up until this point, like he's got less goals than Gyökeres. I know he's probably a better player than Gyökeres, of course, but like you don't hear about these sort of things, especially with the season Liverpool's having. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
Sesko as well. Obviously,
yeah,
he's scored I think 10 plus goals for United. So in context, he's probably had a decent breakout season. But it was one of those where we were looking at either someone up and coming in Benjamin Sesko, who I personally wanted. I'll be honest with you, I think his skill set suits us a lot more. Um, or someone who's been there and done it, but albeit in Portugal and in the Champions League and Gyökeres. But um, all that matters really is that you're feeding these guys and you're
yep.
giving them chances. And we haven't really been doing that all season, but today it was great to see us do that. Now, what I will say is the way Fulham set up and fair enough to Fulham, they're chasing European football. They're not a bad side. They're definitely no slouch, but they I think played into our hands slightly in the way that they were pressing. Excuse me. in the way that they were pressing, sort of a pretty passive mid block,
Yeah,
and they were sort of man marking all over the pitch, which meant that because we had players who were just better athletes, I guess, in most areas, we were able to sort of get away from them and play through their press, and that gave our midfielders and our forward players a lot more time and space on the ball, which definitely helped. But needless to say, we still had to put those chances away, and
yeah,
just like the Newcastle game where Eze scored in the first 9 minutes, we had Bukayo Saka go down the right hand side, sort of cut in, and this time it was Jimenez marking him, not
skinned him.
Robertson, and he absolutely sent him for dead. And then the end product was just perfect. It was just a perfectly weighted ball into that danger zone, right where you want your number 9 to be. And in previous years, he's delivered that sort of ball, and there's been no one there. So
Yeah,
Gyökeres was right where he should have been to tap it in for 1-0, which I thought was great and absolutely deserved as well.
yeah. The precision on that ball as well, with his weak foot, we must add, is like it is a very low margin of error. Like if it goes too close to the keeper, if it goes the other way, but he got it right in that channel where Gyökeres was, and I'm so glad he was just there to just tap it in. Perfect striker's instinct. When that went in, I was like, Saka's back. Like he is back officially, right? I'm so happy to see that because he needs the confidence as well. Like I know he's a massive character. He got the new contract as well. There's been a lot of talk in the media about like what does he actually do for Arsenal? He's always injured, has half a hamstring, all this stuff. But today, I think he really proved to us and himself that he can do it, and he still has the levels. The level is still there. So I'm so excited to see that. And then again, yeah, we scored another goal. Guess who it was? Saka. Goal and assist in the first half. What were your thoughts when that goal went in?
Yeah, I mean, goal assist for him and a goal assist for Gyökeres as well.
Yeah,
So it was a great ball from Eze, exactly through, like
yeah.
sort of in behind for Gyökeres running onto it in the corner. Saka just completely lost Robinson even. Sort of did a little double movement, which
Yeah.
I like. Great pass from Gyökeres into
That
him,
hold
and
up play from Gyökeres though, like that,
really
I
really
love
good.
to see that. I didn't know he had that, to be honest. Maybe I doubted him, but like you said it before, he's improved a lot with that aspect of his game, and it's so good to see that he can do that.
100%, 100%. And yeah, once you get into that position, you just got to dispatch it. And that's exactly what Saka did. And yeah, we go in 2-0 up. Well, we actually scored the second
Yeah.
before that, didn't we? Obviously, Calafiori, Calafiori in the box as a number 9. Beautiful
Why
header.
is he
But
there? Why is he there?
because that's what he does, he creates
Yeah.
absolute havoc. And
I
that is
love it. I
literally where
love
you
it.
want him.
Yeah.
Obviously, that one was offside, but this one definitely was not offside. And yeah, 2-0. We think we're going in 2-0 up at half time. And
Yeah.
then what happens?
Another goal.
Another goal,
Gyökeres.
man. Another goal,
Gyökeres.
another goal.
Gyökeres again.
It was actually what I thought was quite a poor pass across his own goal from Saka. And then one of the Fulham attackers was running onto it, and Gabriel just got to it first and passed the ball into Trossard, who galloped his way into the opposition half and sort of quite near the box, floated in a beautiful cross, which Gyökeres found his way onto the end of, and
Yeah.
yeah, a great header past Leno, 3-0 at half time. Game is sort of won pretty much,
Well,
which is
what happened,
awesome.
George? Do it. Do it. Come on. I don't think I've seen you do it. Yeah. There we go. But
I
that
also
that header
think
though was like a little bit behind him, wasn't it? It wasn't like an easy one at all. Like a really good finish.
100%, 100%. And honestly, like to that point, I actually thought we were playing such good football, very like free
Yeah.
flowing between the lines. There was a lot of times where Eze was receiving the ball in the half turn, and they were playing little passes just to take it away from the Fulham midfielders, and
Yeah.
we were sort of like in some areas we were like 3 versus 2s and 4 versus 3s, which we weren't able to take advantage of. I think there was a few times where maybe Eze made the wrong passing decision in the final third, but overall, I thought we played really well. I think that someone who probably doesn't get the credit they deserve, William Saliba, man. This guy
Yeah.
has had such a great season, and it's just gone completely under the radar. Like he is a world-class centre back, a world-class centre back. He makes the game look so easy, and we are just so lucky to have him alongside Gabriel, mate. Like I feel so secure at the back, and when we play out at the moment, like he's getting dragged into wide areas which most centre backs wouldn't feel comfortable with, but he does a step over the ball, comes back the other way, and like finds the passing angles. He's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I thought the first half ended exactly the way it should have. Arsenal 3-0 up at home against Fulham,
Yeah.
game sort of done and dusted. It just meant that we could sort of just control the second half. We were able to rest some players. Obviously, Saka came off at half time for Madueke. Shortly after that, Declan Rice came off for Zubimendi and gave
Yeah.
Zubimendi some time. Eze got rested. Dalman came on. Obviously, Madueke came on for Saka. Who else came on?
Jesus as well.
Jesus obviously came on
Yeah.
for Gyökeres. Mosquera came
Mascara at the
on
end, yeah.
for Ben White. So it was a very complete performance, and this is what Arsenal fans have wanted to see for a while. It feels
Yeah.
like we've let the handbrake go a little bit, which is awesome because we are now in the driving seat. Couple games left in the Premier League. Obviously, a massive game on Wednesday morning in the Champions League.
Yep.
The pressure's on City. It's like one of those times now where we can really say like it's really on. Like it's
Yep.
it's really on. We could get our hands on the Premier League in just a few weekends' time.
Oh my
And
God. That's
yeah,
crazy to
it's
think.
unbelievable for the first time in 22 years.
Oh
And
my days.
and even the Champions League, man. We've the first time in our history we've done back-to-back semi-finals of the Champions League, and we're home leg against Atletico Madrid at 1-1 in the second leg of a Champions League semi-final to take us to a Champions League final, the first one since 2006.
Yeah.
Man, we're in a good place.
And
We're in a
coming
good
off
place.
that win against Fulham as well, like if we didn't play against Fulham, let's just say we had the weekend off, I feel a bit more like, oh no, how's it gonna go? Like it was a bit of a dry performance, 1-1. It could go either way. A bit more confident because at the Emirates, but then after seeing that Fulham game, and then especially with Saka being arrested, Rice coming off as well, Zubimendi not even playing that much. Who else came up? Eze, as you said before. Like we've got all these players that are just coming off pure confidence in that 3-0 win, but then they're fresh legs and also ready to play against Madrid as well. Like it's like a double advantage. Like so keen for it. Yeah, I mean, the pressure is really on City. I still can't even get my head around winning the Premier League title. Like, doesn't even feel real. Like, what is it in like potentially 3 weeks time, 22 days or something days time? Arteta could be lifting the Premier League trophy. Let's just say hypothetically, he wins that in the Champions League. Does he become Arsenal's best all-time manager? I know it sounds crazy because of Wenger, but the Champions League aspect of it, is there some credibility to that?
I mean, what Arsene Wenger did for this club was
Yeah,
was just revolutionary. Like, not obviously building the stadium, number one, but in his first 8 years, did he win three doubles? I think he won three doubles.
yeah,
Obviously, the Invincibles,
FA Cups.
um, FA Cups changed literally the whole magnitude of what Arsenal Football Club was really on the global stage. Brought players to the club who have been sort of indoctrinated enshrined into
Yeah,
Premier League history. Um, so it's a really hard one. It's a really hard
I
one,
think
but
I think I think
obviously,
it's too early to say for sure, but like if Arteta keeps going on, especially in the Emirates era, sorry, is what I'm more sort of referring to. But yeah, of course, Wenger. I love watching Wenger back in the day. Such a he changed English football. I think that's also why, completely off topic, but I think that's also why a lot of people have this sort of agenda against Arsenal, maybe because some of the things he did during that time. But yeah, if Arteta, but do you know about that though? Like he bringing in the foreign players, like I think it does play into these rival fans not liking us a lot.
well, what I think is that they rival fans just don't particularly like the fact that our fans are pretty entitled in that we think we should be
Yeah,
winning. But what I think sometimes they struggle to remember is Arsenal fans actually pay the most money for their season tickets in Europe. So, and they have done for a very long time, having moved
mm,
into the Emirates. So for me, the entitlement is only based on the fact that after 22 years, we probably do or we probably have at some point earned a Premier League title.
Yeah.
Um, and to be honest with you, this year it has to be the year. It really does have to be the year. I'm very excited, man. I don't want to speak too quickly
Yeah.
because I have done
Maybe
previously.
I'm probably being too reactionary. Probably a bit guilty of that. But yeah, as you can see, we're both very, very excited. But obviously the season is not done yet. Anything can happen. But there's a sense of I think the overall message is that there is a sense of confidence that's kind of been instilled back into the club and back into the fans, which is so it's only a good thing because the players will feel that confidence. They'll feel the energy from the crowd. I thought the crowd, I mean, I was listening to it very quietly because it's 2:30 a.m., but they was still, I could still hear it it was very prominent. So, I mean, that's always a bonus. And I think it's so good that we can have that crowd for the Madrid game. You know what I mean? That use that momentum for that as well. It's like it's pretty much a 12th man, isn't it?
100%, 100%. And I've said it to you previously, the the players and the way that we play dictates the crowd, not the other way around. So when Arteta's talking about bring your lunch and your dinner and really bring a big atmosphere. Well, no, mate, no, mate. Get your players to deliver on the pitch, and then you'll see what the atmosphere can be
That's how
like.
you
And
do it.
and
Exactly.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, no doubt we'll be behind the boys for the Champions League game after that performance. It was a really, really good performance, probably the best performance of 2026, I want to
Yeah.
say. Um, just the type of football that we were playing, it was a lot faster, a lot more free flowing, which is not something we've been necessarily able to see so much this season. But to me, it has a lot to do with availability. Obviously, not having Odegaard in this 11 is one thing, but I think he would probably even add to the fluidity of the football. If he was out, in central midfield and Eze was out on the left, I think that would have been a lot closer to a more complete Arsenal. But having said that, I thought Trossard played really, really
Yeah.
well, and Eze played very well, and we love Eze in central areas. So who really knows? Who really knows? But really positive, mate. Really, really
Yeah.
positive. I'm delighted with the performance. I'm delighted with the result. Maybe we could have got one or two more goals, to be honest with you, in terms of the goal difference
Yeah.
side of things. It seemed like we did take our foot off the gas a little bit after half time with the substitutions, but I understand it also. I do understand it.
Yeah.
Massive game on Wednesday morning. Is it 5 a.m. kickoff for us?
5 a.m. Wednesday. Yes.
5 a.m. Wednesday. I'm very much looking forward to it. I apologize as well if I'm being a bit sluggish in terms of my speech today. Obviously, I have been up since 2:30 this morning,
Oh,
so
you didn't go back to sleep,
no,
did you?
no. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm absolutely exhausted. Well, I had a little nap, but nothing. I couldn't really get back to sleep properly. So yeah, I'm shattered, man. I'm gonna sleep well tonight for sure.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, happy days, right? Should we break down the our next game, Champions League? Little preview.
100%. Let's do it.
Let's get
Let's do
into
it.
it. So obviously we mentioned it a little bit before. Atletico Madrid second leg Wednesday 5 a.m. kickoff for us. Perfect time, I think. Really great time for us. And yeah, I'm confident going into this game. Especially, I was confident even after just the Madrid game, before the Fulham game, because I thought there were moments in that game we can take positives from. Madrid, extremely tough place to go, 1-1 out of there, two penalties, should have had another one as well. So I feel like we did kind of get unlucky. I mean, we never actually got to talk about, I never actually got to hear I did a TikTok on it, but I want to hear your thoughts on that just quickly.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on the Eze one was it was an absolute disgrace of a decision, to be honest with you, and not to say that it was 100% a penalty, by the way. I think it probably was. It was a soft one. But once the decision has been given, the
Yep,
law states that unless it's um, a clear and obvious error from the referee, it can't be overturned by VAR. And if you're going to the screen to look at it 13 times before you make a decision, then it just, by definition,
it's a
cannot be
clear and obvious.
clear and
Yeah,
obvious. So you can't overturn it. And the media love to talk about Arteta and how mental he is on the sideline, and yeah, he absolutely is. I'm not going to deny it. I just think it's in the culture of a lot of Spanish managers. I think Pep's the same. I think Iraola's the same. A lot of Spanish managers are very, very passionate. Unai Emery, pretty similar, right? But what Simeone did on the sideline there is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. He literally influenced the decision, which is
yeah,
just crazy. It's crazy how it happened. Now, that is my feeling on the Eze one. I think once the decision was given, in terms of the penalty being given, it should have stayed, and that literally could change the course of the tie, which is why Arteta and Arsenal will feel very aggrieved by it, which is totally fair enough in my opinion. I was pretty pissed off as an Arsenal fan as well. We'll take the draw, obviously back to the Emirates, but still very frustrating. Would have been amazing to go back with a 2-1 win. Having said that, the white penalty, in my opinion, is frustrating. However, that
Yeah,
is the rules
yeah,
in the Champions
I
League.
agree.
You know,
Yeah, 100%.
like at least it's consistent. We saw the decision the night before in the Bayern game. You know, it's exactly the same. Really, I personally think that shouldn't be handball. I think the Premier League rules and the Champions League rules should be aligned. I don't know why there is a
Yeah, it's the
difference
same
there.
sport. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? It's same sport, same rules.
100%, but there is a rule difference, but at least they're being consistent with
Consistent. Yeah.
it. So I could deal with the consequences of that handball. But the Eze one is, in my opinion, just completely indefensible. Indefensible.
Yeah,
Um,
fair enough. I completely agree with you. I think Simeone influenced that decision. The crowd influenced that decision. You got to think if Arteta is doing the same antics that Simeone was doing. Oh my! Can you imagine the outbursts on social
that's it.
media?
That's it. 100%. Yeah, it's
Crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah. So I am confident going into this game for sure. What do you reckon about the lineup? What would you go with? It's a tough one,
After
isn't it?
after a performance like that, it's very, very hard to say I want anything to change. But I personally would definitely go with Mosquera right back.
Okay,
Personally, I
I can
would.
see that.
Um, I just think Lookman is a threat. Lookman, obviously Alvarez and Griezmann, like the three of them can cause serious issues, especially on the counter attack. And my thought process is Atletico will probably sit in a quite aggressive mid block or a low block. So I think they'll try and hit us on the counter attack. So I would go with Mosquera personally.
Yep.
I would probably also go with Odegaard alongside Rice and Zubimendi and have Eze out wide. Um, but if he went with Eze as the 10 and Trossard out wide after the performance that they just had, I wouldn't be able to criticize it. Like I just wouldn't. But yeah, Calafiori comes in. I'd probably go unchanged. Or unchanged means Miles playing. Oh, it's a
Yeah,
hard one, mate.
that's a
It's a
difficult
hard
one.
one.
Would you play Miles or not? For me, I think it's so tough. I don't know. Honestly, because I think we play better football, but when it's the Champions League and it's this tight and it's against Atletico Madrid, who they play that sort of football, low blocks, it's dirty, that sort of thing. You got to have more. We can't really play as free flowing. So maybe I would play Zubimendi just to be safe.
I wouldn't mind. I'm going to sit on the fence here. I'm going to let the coach make that
Yeah,
extremely
it's a
tough
big
decision
call.
by
It's a
himself.
big call.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind either way. I think if Rice and Zubi play, at least like Zubi and Rice, both of them have had a little bit of rest, whereas Maya was actually played the whole game. So that could be a reason
True.
why he
Yep.
won't. I actually think he'll go with Zubimendi and
That's a
Rice
good
just
point. Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that would be me. I'm picturing a 2-0 win.
Yeah.
So we go through 3-1. Yeah,
I'll go.
3-1. That's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
3-1
I'll go
total.
2-1 and what's that? My maths right now. 3-2 on aggregate. So that's our
So
score predictions.
in one win in 1 week, Arsenal go 6 points clear. Hopefully, Everton take points off Man City on Tuesday
Oh,
morning,
please,
Monday night in
Everton,
the
please,
UK,
man.
and we be in a Champions League final. How
Yeah.
exciting!
Yeah, I mean, happy days. And I also want to say as well, I hope Smith Rowe has a speedy recovery. We saw him come off injured. It was great to see the reception on the pitch that he got. Unfortunately, that Iwobi didn't get to play. Leno was there, obviously, as well. But yeah, wishing him a speedy recovery. But yeah, I think that's all we got time for today. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, excited for the coming week. Atletico Madrid on Wednesday. Expecting a win. Confident about that. Yeah, not much else we could say. Top of the league by 6 points. Come on, Everton. I'm an Everton fan tomorrow. But yeah, hope you have a good day, Gooners.
Have a good day, Gooners.